Hello dear students, I welcome you all on this e-learning platform by KRT Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science College, popularly known as KTHM College Nasik. I am Kanchan Bagul, working as an assistant professor in the Department of English. In this video session, we are going to learn a war song by Lenape. This video session is for the students of MA Part 2, Semester 3rd, specifically for subject American Literature, Course Paper 3.6. The topics that we are going to cover in this lecture are, first of all, we are going to learn about Lenape. After that, we are going to discuss how Lenape were concerned to the war. Then we are going to read the war song of Lenape. And after that, we are going to discuss summary and analysis. Before we start, let me tell you about the poem that who were Lenape. Lenape is an aboriginal tribe in America. Lenape is one of the Red Indians. They were living along the New Jersey and Delaware River. Due to their location, they were also known as Delaware Indians. They were living there during 16th and 17th century when Europeans settled their colonies in America. They were also known as Lenni Lenape. The literal meaning of Lenni Lenape is men of Maine. As they were brave warriors, they were known as men of Maine. But European translated the word Lenni Lenape as original men. Being an aboriginal tribe, they were not at all concerned to any war. But during American freedom movement, Lenape helped the revolutionary government. First treaty was signed between United States government and Lenni Lenape tribe. After its declaration of freedom in 1778. Government has promised them if Lenape helped them in the fight against British, they would be given statehood. But government didn't keep the promise. During colonization, this tribe lived a very fearful life. There was a policy implemented by European settlers. The name of that policy was Indian Removal Policy. Under this policy, many Indians were tortured and removed from their homeland. Many of them were killed and removed from their homeland. Some of them managed to sustain, but they lived with constant fear. And those who survived tried to adapt with the dominant culture and became farmers and tradesmen. Now let us learn something about poem. As we all know, it's an anonymous poem. The author of the poem is not mentioned anywhere. It was published in Hegwelder's An Account of the History, Manners and Customs of the Indian Nations who once inhabited Pennsylvania and the neighboring state, at page number 211 Heckwelder was an American missionary. In that book, he has mentioned that he heard the song sung by Native American during war, where they used to utter some small lines, short lines, and through that they expressed their feelings about war. Specifically, when Revolutionary War was going on in the spring of 1779, he came to know about this song. The song was there in the Munsi dialect, which is the dialect uttered by Delaware, and later on it is being translated in some other dialect along with in English. Now let us read the poem. The poem was published in Heckwelder, and the title in that publication is The Song of the Lenape Warriors Going Against the Enemy, or it is also known as Lenape War Song. Oh poor me, who am going out to fight the enemy, and know not whether I shall return again, to enjoy the embraces of my children and my wife. O poor creature, whose life is not in his own hands, who has no power over his own body, but tries to do this his duty for the welfare of his nation. Oh, the Great Spirit above, take pity on my children and on my wife. Prevent their mourning on my account. Grant that I may be successful in this attempt, that I may slay my enemy and bring home the trophies of war to my dear family and friends, that we may rejoice together. Oh, take pity on me. Give me strength and courage to meet my enemy. Suffer me to return again to my children, to my wife, and to my relations. Take pity on me and preserve my life, and I will make to thee a sacrifice. How beautifully the feelings of a soldier is being explained in this poem. Now let us discuss the poem line by line. Here you will find there are some words used by the poet, that "O poor me, O poor creature." And this poor creature, poor me, is no one else but the soldier. And with these words, the poet explains the helplessness of a soldier. Why does poet calls a soldier poor? Because who am going out to fight enemy, and know not whether I shall return again. The soldier who started from his home, but unaware with the fact that will he come back, will he be alive, and due to that the soldier calls himself "O poor me," or the poor creature. While going on the battlefield, each and every moment, that soldier is missing the beautiful love, embraces of his children and his wife. Every moment he wished to hug the children and meets his wife, but he is not sure that during the battlefield whether he will die or he will come alive. O poor creature, whose life is not in his own hands, who has no power over his own body, but tries to do his duty for the welfare of his nation. Soldiers are being ordered, and they are being ordered to fight on the battlefield without taking any consent from them, and therefore And therefore, this soldier says that I have no control on my own body. I am just like a servant, the one who has to obey each and every order. His life is not in his hand, his body is not in his hand, and the only devotion, the only mission in his life to do something for his nation and try to fight earnestly for the welfare of his nation. Oh, the great Spirit above, take pity on my children and my wife, prevent their mourning on my account. A soldier is helpless and can't do anything. In this case, soldier tries to get help from the Almighty, and he requests superpower to help him give strength to his family so they can cope up with the mourning, they can cope up with his loss. He requests God to have pity, mercy on his child and his wife. Grant that I may be successful in this attempt, that I may slay my enemy. He requests God to grant him the strength so he can defeat his enemy, and he need not to go to the battlefield again and again. So this attempt should be successful and he should return home alive and bring home the trophies of war to my dear family and friends. As I just told you before in the introduction, government has assured Delaware that they will be gifted with statehood if they helped in the battlefield. So the statehood is what the trophy of war that Lenape were expecting, and therefore the soldier says that please give me the strength so I can fight well on the battlefield and come home with all the wars and trophies of war, so my all family and friends can celebrate it, that we may rejoice together. Oh, take pity on me. Again the soldier is asking for mercy and pity and asking God for strength, courage to fight with his enemy. Give me strength and courage to meet my enemy. Suffer me to return again to my children, to my wife, and to my relation. The soldier wanted to fight so rigorously and so bravely that death should not touch him, and he should come home alive so he can meet all his relatives, his wife and his children. And last two lines, take pity on me and preserve my life. You can see the fear of death and the fear of fertile death is being explained very nicely by the soldier. Dying on the battlefield is not at all accepted by the soldier, and therefore the soldier wants to defeat his enemy, be the winner and come home with victory. Therefore he requests his God to gift him life, to preserve or to save his life on the battlefield, to be his constant supporter all the time, to live his life, and I will make to thee a sacrifice. Again the soldier assures that if he is being survived, he is going to do a lot of sacrifices for God. In this way, it's a beautiful war song sung by Native Americans during Revolutionary War. Just let us recapitulate some important points of the summary. As I told you, it's a war song sung by Lenape community or Lenape, a tribe, that is Red Indian tribe. One important thing I would like to tell you, though it is a war song, it has a religious tone, and more than a war song, it can be said as a prayer as now and then the soldier is continuously requesting God, appealing God for the better life, for the survival, and for his victory. He is requesting the Almighty, or what we can call the superpower, to grant a better life to him, to grant him strength, courage, so he can fight bravely with his enemy. Also, he wishes that God should be there next to him and help him to survive from the battlefield. The soldier is helpless, and the reason behind that helplessness is love for his family and his great desire of peaceful life. This poem was being continued by the oral tradition of Red Indians, and it was being heard by the missionary, and they jotted it down, they translated it in English. Therefore, it plays a very important role while learning American literature. With this note, I would like to conclude my session. In next session, we are going to learn some important themes and some critical analysis of the poem. I wish, dear students, till then you can keep reading. Thank you so much for your patience listening. Thank you.